best camera smartphone today. And right beside us is Mr. Gary Chen, Nokia's Pan-Asian Head of Marketing, and he's here to promote and discuss what's good about the Nokia Lumia 1020. Hi Sir Gary, it's been a while.
Okay.
So, what's new with this new phone you're holding right now?
So we are here today to introduce, of course, Nokia Lumia 1020. We think that this is going to be a revolutionary smartphone that's going to completely revolutionize the way people actually capture images and be able to tell their stories from their phone.
Okay. And, well, aside from that, we know that Nokia is marketing the 41 megapixel of this camera, and it's now tagged as the best camera phone in the world. Why is that? What's something new about the 41 megapixel?
Sure. Well, let me first start with the 41 megapixel. So if you can look at the back here, you can see that we have got the design is very Nokia, but what we have done at the back here is to create a brand new camera assembly. And we really believe that this is super distinctive. No other phone actually will ever look like this. It also is a throwback to the camera heritage that it really is. But the camera assembly is actually where a lot of the magic happens. First thing about the camera assembly is that it holds a 41 megapixel sensor. But it is different from the 41 megapixel sensor that was in 808 pure view because it's now backside illuminated.
Oh, okay.
And that helps make the pixels even more sensitive. Oh. The second thing that it does is that it has got a second generation optical image stabilization, which we first introduced in the Lumia 920,
okay.
And then we've updated it now for the 1020.
So what's the difference of that now?
So now what we've done is that we realized we can't mount the sensor on springs, and what we did is that we actually put two ball bearing assemblies to actually be able to compensate for the motion of it. So if you shake it, you can actually hear the ball bearings at work. And on top of it here, you have got the xenon flash, and you have got the LED flash. The xenon flash, perfect for photos, LED flash, perfect for
video light.
Absolutely.
Aside from the camera, let's talk about the design. So I think, well, Nokia has used a polycarbonate material again on the 1020. Why did not use the aluminum design on the 1020 like on the 925?
That's a good question. See, Nokia in all our devices, the Lumia devices, we've always used polycarbonate. Even the 925, even though there's an aluminum ring around it, the back is still polycarbonate as well. And the reason why we like to use polycarbonate is for two reasons. The first reason is that polycarbonate is tough. This is the same material that is being used to actually manufacture hockey helmets.
Okay.
So if you can actually withstand the impact of a hockey helmet having an impact, it can withstand your daily drops and things and all that. But what we did here was that the second reason is that this polycarbonate also allows us to have these bright colors that are inherent, which means that on top of the fact that we can deliver the phones in beautiful colors, multiple colors, the colors go all the way through the polycarbonate material, which means if you scratch it, guess what? You scratch a white device, you see white underneath it.
So it's not a coat?
It's not a coat on it. And what we did with the 1020 was that we updated even the glass in front to complement the tough back. This is now updated to Gorilla Glass 3, so you all have an all-around super tough device.
Great, awesome. And guys, looking at the thickness again of the 1020, if you compare that to the 920, it's actually thinner, I think. And when you hold the 1020, the feel is actually more slicker than the 920. So it's a very intelligent design made by Nokia.
Yeah. One of the things that we did was that we actually managed to take weight out of the 920.
Yeah.
And so the 1020 is actually 30 grams lighter than the 920. I really believe that's important with the slimness and the weight. It's something that consumers really demanded from us so that they can keep the device with them all the time.
Aside from the design and that, aside from apps, can you just give us a quick view about the growth of the Windows Phone Store?
Yeah, so the Windows Phone Store has now 175,000 applications. 90% of all the most popular apps on iOS and Android are now available on the Windows Phone. One of the great apps that comes with the Lumia 1020 is the Nokia Pro Camera application, which takes all the hardware and actually brings it to life. So if you press the shutter button, you actually go to the Nokia Pro Cam application, and you can see that there is, the very familiar, if you're familiar with cameras, you can see the bar at the top here. And what this allows you to do is it actually allows you to see what is your current settings of your camera. But if you want to change the settings, one of the things that the 1020 can do, which no other camera can do, is that you can actually flick out this particular dial, and you can actually go into granularly change every single aspect of it, whether it is in terms of exposure, whether it's in terms of the shutter speed. This is got a mechanical shutter, all the way up to 4 seconds, whether it's in terms of ISO sensitivity, whether it is in manual focus. But also one of the great things about the app that we have is that if you go back then into the gallery mode, and if you go into any of the apps that you have taken, you see that there's this thing called the Nokia Pro Cam at the bottom.
Yes.
And when you click on it, what you can do is that you can then use the Nokia Pro Cam app to actually reframe the shot. So by tapping on this button here, you can actually zoom in to where you actually want to look at and tell the story within the shot and save that particular shot. So now this then becomes a 5 megapixel shot, and then all the data that it has around this is used to create the perfect 5 megapixel shot, which I can then now take and I can then share this particular story on with my friends on my social network. But the great part about it is that all the 41 megapixels of data that's being used to create the shot is then still stored inside the phone, so I can go back in any time to again reframe the shot into anything else that I want to talk about within the shot. So we really believe that it completely changes the way that consumers are going to be able to capture and relive their moments.
And that makes sense why there's a 41 megapixel sensor.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, amazing. Guys, that's actually the power of the 41 megapixel of the Lumia 1020. So it's not about the number of pixels, but the technology behind that and the science behind that. I'd like to know the availability of this device here in the Philippines.
Yeah. So we have been trying very hard to get this device in as quickly as possible. I'm really pleased to let everybody know that this device will be available from the 11th of October here in the Philippines. It's going to be available across all the operators and in the Nokia stores, and it's going to be available at the price of 35,650 pesos. Which, if you think about it, is the price you'll pay for a smartphone today, a flagship smartphone today, but it will not have the power of the DSLR or the power of the HD video camera that's built into it already. So we really think that it's a great value. But for Philippines customers, we're going to also throw in an additional camera grip. The camera grip is going to have the built-in tripod mount, a second battery, as well as a 2-stage camera.
It comes for free.
Comes for free with every single purchase of a Lumia 1020 here in the Philippines. You want to buy the 1020, make full use of the camera capability.
I'm sure we're going to buy one. What would you like to say to our Filipino fans, to our Nokia Revolution viewers, about the new Nokia Lumia 1020?
Guys, we think that this Nokia Lumia 1020 is going to really revolutionize the way that you're able to capture your moments, take your and create your photos, and relive those moments. So I encourage you guys to go down to a Nokia store from the 11th of October, check one out for yourself, and be able to experience the difference it's going to make to help you tell your story. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for that, Sir Gary. So again, thank you so much for this time, and we'll see you again for the next event.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. This is Art from Nokia Revolution, and we'll be posting this on our blog at nokiarevolution.com. Thank you, guys, for watching. Bye now.